Hi everybody, my name is Sarah Gupta. Thank you for having me, and a big thank you to Jessica Drossin for inviting me for the second issue of her brand new wonderful magazine. And she asked me to record two edit videos for you, and this is how I'm going to show you how I'm going to use her products in all of my images. Every single image that I take always uses Jessica's products, and I wouldn't be here today as an artist, as a photographer, if I hadn't met her and stumbled upon her wonderful products and how they have transformed my imagery. A little bit about me: I've been photographing for about 8 years now. I'm a trained oil painter and graphite artist. And I picked up photography when I just didn't really have the time anymore to do, days long process of painting or drawing. And especially when I had my little one here. And you can see this is Aiden. And I chose this image to show you how I transformed it. And here is my final product here, and how I use her images, or not her images, her products. I also chose this image because we're going to be, before you know it, we're going to be stumbling into fall. And we're already halfway through summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, and those in the deep north, we start to experience fall even in September. So here is an image with a lot of green, and I have little bits and hints of color here. And I purposefully chose attire for my son to wear. This green shirt with this camel colored pants and a bit of a mustard hat, simply because these colors go really, really well with the foliage. This wouldn't be this wouldn't be successful if we had him in black or navy blue or, let's see, if this was a little girl, like purple or pinks, or I try to grab colors that you would see around him to make this a really eye-popping and catching photo. Now this, while editing for you, I'm not going to go through my process in how I edit here in Lightroom. I'm going to show you how I edit in Adobe Photoshop with Jessica's products only. Okay, so to get started, I'm in Lightroom right now, so I grab this photo, and this is my edit here in Lightroom, and I'm going to go Photo, edit in Adobe Photoshop, and then this will pop up. Let's see, there you are. Get rid of some other pictures. So I have several of her collections here. I'm going to go up to, let's see, Window, Actions. I am going to go to her, and I use the launch of her products for autumn, her Jessica Drossin Autumn Tones 1 and 2. I have both of them, and they have become my absolute brand new favorites, and I use them throughout the whole year. I have several other of her packs and textures, but this new launch of her autumn tones is just, it really warms my photo and leaves the skin tones just beautiful. What I did for this picture is, I'm going to go down. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see here. If I remember correctly, I used Summer's End. And I'm going to hit play, this little button here. And it's thinking. But as you can see, it is pretty darn, it transformed this into a very, this is at 100% opacity. It's very orange, but I'm going to take this down to about, I think 40 would look great too here. Maybe even 46. I think that's maybe 50. Close to 50. Okay, I really like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go layer. I'm going to flatten my image. So to pop out even more color, because here in this foliage, a lot of the color was up above him. You see a lot more reds up here. And I have a little trick that I use with one of her products that helps accentuate the color even more. So I'm going to go to Window, Actions, and in another pack of hers, I'm going to find it. I have a lot of her stuff. So it's called Golden Flare here, but I'm going to show you which pack this is in. Let's get rid of that. This is in her Jessica Drossin Illuminations Instant Overlays package. I'm going to go back down here to Golden Flare. So I'm going to play that. Continue. I'm just going to get rid of this. And here I'm going to move it up here. Now I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, and Scale. I can stretch this and move it all around. But as you can see, this color here that I've added, just this, or not color, but light, has really popped out more of these reds that are just above him. And it kind of almost leads your eye to him, so it's a little darker around the edges and a lot of nice color with some light, and it's going to go right, your eye travels through the image down to him. So I like that. I'm going to hit the check mark and keep it. A lot of times whenever you add, overlays or actions to your images, sometimes it transforms the skin a little bit. So to combat that, I'm going to go Layer, I'm going to flatten this image again. I'm going to grab my lasso tool, and I'm just going to lasso over his skin. Just like that. I'm going to do this for his head, neck, and hands. I'm going to go Image, Adjustments, Hue, and Saturation. From Master, I'm going to go to Yellows, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. And Reds, because what makes orange, red, and yellow, and it makes his skin a little bit orange. So I'm going to bring those down there, and it just eliminates some of the color. And Jessica does an amazing job with these to keep skin as wonderfully natural as possible, but sometimes it just needs a little extra. So I'm going to go yellow, and I'm bring it down again. Reds I'll bring down. And I see a little bit of red in his hand here. There. Okay, great. I'm also going to take this triangle tool, and I like to do this at a 50% strength at normal mode. Right before I bring it back into Lightroom, I go over my subject one time, and it just pops them a little bit more. I'm going to go File, Save, and it's going to take me right back to Adobe Lightroom. And there it is. And I'm just going to teach you do a little fine tuning here. I think his skin is a little bit underexposed for my liking. So I'm going to take my brush, and I'm just going to brush over his face just a little bit. I'm going to brush over his hands. And I'm going to increase the exposure just slightly. Be a little more. There you go. close. So what I like to do is I grab my dropper tool, and I always look at the brightest highlight of his skin. You know, here on his nose or here on the palm of his hand, wherever you think, but I see a lot more light here. And I'm looking at the histogram, which is, this is your histogram here. And you have a red and a green and a blue channel. And I hold my dropper tool over the brightest highlight, and I'm looking to make sure my red is higher than my green is higher than my blue, all the values, and they are. And then also for me, I like to have my values around 75 to 85 for my skin on the brightest, and we're in that value. So I see 78. So I'm okay with that. Another way we can tackle that a little bit is to go down to luminance, and go to orange, and I can just up that a little bit, and that'll also increase exposure in his skin. So we have 80 now, so a couple points higher, so that's great. To finish this off, I'm gonna just, over here in my tone curve, I'm gonna grab this point here on the axes, bring it up slightly, and this also gets rid of my black clipping that I was seeing down there, and it just kind of softens my image a little bit. I'm just going to increase my contrast a bit, and I am going to increase my blacks a smidge, or decrease my blacks, sorry. Increase to 10 plus 10 my clarity. And then what I'm going to do is take my radial filter tool. I'm going to just hover it kind of right here. Then I'm going to uncheck my invert and kind of create just a little bit of a, just darken it around him just the slightest little bit. And we can also add more contrast. And then finally add a little bit of luminance, about 25. And there you have it. So thank you for watching my first little edit tutorial for you, and how I manipulate Jessica's products to transform my imagery. All right, on to the next recording. Thank you.